Kia ora whānau, and welcome to another episode of Get a Job and Get Healthy with Costas Enterprises. I am your host, Alex Costas, and today's episode is, it's basically more of an awareness episode about what you should be looking out for at the moment in regards to things like Redbubble, in regards to things like jobs as well. As you can tell, I am, of course, recording this in my car, where I shouldn't be, but I am. What are you going to do? So before we get into the episode, let's talk about all the fun things you can find me at. You can find me on my website, costasenterprises.business.blog. You can also email me at doncostas@gmail.com. That's DONCOSTAS@gmail.com. You can also find me at the Kiwi Don, both on Instagram and on Twitter. And I'd really love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're preparing for, what you're getting ready for. Now, of course, we'll address the elephant in the room. Why have I not been recording the last couple of weeks? Unfortunately, as I talked about last week, I'm actually still quite sick. I have been going through a whole lot of medical things. I've done about 3 blood tests. I've done other samples, which, fun times. And the doctors still don't know what's actually wrong with me, so that's always fun. And of course, because of that, I haven't really been in the mood to record, because talking for too long makes me sick, as well as basically just laying in bed all day makes you very lethargic and just generally not very good. But I wanted to put an episode out there today because, my usual day is Thursday, and I, was unable to do last week, but I did do the week before, and I promised I was going to get one out last week, so I do apologise. I will try to keep these more regular and have them every week where possible. So let's get into all the fun things. Now, Redbubble, Teespring, all of those sorts of things. So Redbubble, if you are currently on Redbubble and you've made some sales, maybe you have not made enough to meet the monthly threshold of $20. Which is, if you can make $20 a month, then you do get a payment out from Redbubble every pay, which is every month. However, if you are unable to make that amount, what you will find is Redbubble should, if they haven't already, be distributing to you the artist payment, which they do in December. Now, depending on how much you make either month or even for the year, if you made only, say, $18 odd, then what will happen is around about today or tomorrow, you should get an email from Redbubble going, hey, your artist payment is on its way, or your artist payment has been made, and it will tell you the amount of what they've put into your PayPal and all that sort of stuff. Now is, of course, the best time to be getting your Redbubble up and running, because, of course, we are in the fourth quarter, where usually you get a lot of sales. I, unfortunately, have not had any sales in the last 4 months, but, at the same time, I haven't been super active with uploading, so I do blame myself in that respect. But at the same time, I am happy with the money I have made so far this year. I've made about $80 total, and then in total for the whole time, I've made about $120. So, $80 for a year is it's not enough to write home about, but at the same time, that's $80 US, which, ends up being about $110 New Zealand dollars. So overall, it's nice little pittance. I will hopefully in the next year start ramping things up a bit and putting a bit more into my store. I do intend on doing a lot more things. As you guys know, I'm looking at doing the YouTube, and I'm looking at doing more of the podcasts, possibly doing this as a filmed version as well, and uploading the film version itself. Also plan on doing a bit of vlogging with the new phone and all that sort of stuff. There's a couple of cool features that I can do, and I think they would be quite beneficial, and just showing you a bit about my life, what I do, where I am, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that's all to come, basically. But yeah, now is the time to start looking at all those things like, if you've got your print on demand, putting it out there, getting it updated, making sure you're still checking the payments, checking the collections, making sure all of your products are on relevant items. Sometimes Redbubble does an automatic thing where it kind of screws up the way that you actually view your products. So that's not so good, unfortunately. And the next thing that I want to talk about, what you should be looking forward to, is actually if you are looking for a new job, or maybe you are unemployed and you're looking for a job now. You might have thought, okay, it's Christmas time, it's time to stop looking. Now is actually the perfect time to start looking. The reason I say that is you will find that while there might not be a lot of applications going through now because of the close-up period of December, what you will find is they will start getting more and more applications in sort of January, and usually, specifically with government, there's a lot of recruitment sort of at the end of the year. They go crazy between sort of November and mid-December, but they don't go any further because they can't. So what you'll find is in January, they'll do things like interviews or shortlisting or further referees checks. All that sort of stuff will be done sort of in January. That said, there's usually another big time, and that is February. So you will find that for a lot of new businesses, they won't sort of start advertising for roles until about the 16th, 17th of January, around middle of January, and you will get another big recruitment drive around February. Now, the reason for this is because, of course, when people do come back from work, there is that whole period where you need to make sure that you've got everything together, and is the business running the way it should? Is everyone working the way it is? Maybe you need to implement some new changes before you want to bring on new staff. So new staff are usually, there's a couple of periods throughout the year where you'll find this is a big thing. Usually it's December, sort of February, sometimes March, April, usually not so much June, but more so July. People start usually end of June or start of July for the start of the financial year. Over here, the 1st of July is actually the start of the financial year in New Zealand. And so you go 1st of July to 30 June. So you will find that there is a big recruitment drive around then. And then what you'll find is you will get some in sort of August, September, but mostly October there's another big drive of workers. So with this in mind, that we have sort of just starting to come out of a slump of when people are starting to recruit for, you now know that for your potential recruitments in January, that you can actually start looking at jobs, which means getting your CV, getting your cover letter, getting all of those sorts of things all prepared now so that everything's ready. So that when you do find that job that you do actually want to apply for, you're a little bit more prepared than the other people that are just seeing it pop up very quickly. So start looking now, because you will see some companies trying to beat the trend of the sort of February recruitment, and they will start sort of advertising around mid-December, which of course we are just hitting. So yeah, it is important to look at those sorts of things and start preparing yourself so that everything is all organised so that you can quickly jump into those opportunities. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about, which is pretty big for me, I haven't actually told, I've only told about 3 people about this. One is my mum, one is my partner, and one is my best friend. What I'm going to start doing, and I have actually been accepted to a small business course. It's a free course done through the Open Polytechnic in New Zealand, which is completely online, and it's basically a level 4 certificate. So we're not talking like diplomas or anything like that, but what it will do is it will give me a bit of a qualification on just how to run a small business just a little bit better. My plan is to do this course and to also just ensure that I am, providing you guys with a bit better of an idea. Like if you guys want to start your own businesses, whatever it is, it's nice if I know just a little bit more about it myself so that I can prepare you guys as well. So that's the goal. At the same time, it will help me make my own businesses just a little bit more successful, and hopefully make me structure everything just that little bit more. If you do want to apply for this course, and you are, living resident in New Zealand, it is a fees-free course that can be run through the Open Polytechnic. The course that I am starting starts on the 10th of January. As I said, everything is extramural, so I will be doing this in addition to my normal work as well as my current passive income streams. So yeah, I will try to keep you guys informed. You might start hearing a lot more episodes about small business, what you should look at start doing. I'm hoping to get a lot out of this course. One of the things I'm hoping to get out is a bit more about the actual to do with New Zealand tax laws and how they work with businesses, and also what it is to mean to actually run a small business successfully, because that's the ultimate goal. So yeah, those are the main things going on with my life at the moment, and I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is prepared for Christmas. I know we're not too far away. I believe it's possibly, next week, the week after. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting time for people. Of course, now is the time of, the season is giving and all that sort of fun stuff. But at the same time, it's also a time to reflect on what it is that's going on around you. Remember to always be safe. Just today, it has been confirmed that New Zealand has its first Omicron case in Christchurch, which is very scary, given that Omicron has only just been sort of discovered about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago max, and now it's we're at that stage where there's already a case in New Zealand. So we're living in a really, really weird time. So I just want everyone to stay safe. Remember always that I love you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you that listens, be you a past listener, a present listener, a future listener. I really, really do appreciate everything that you do. You guys have helped me get to 1,400 listens, which still completely blows my mind. And as always, guys, I just want to say to you, I love you and good luck. And until hopefully next week, have a great one.